Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of The Apple Guy. Today we're going to be taking a look at WWDC 2020, the first WWDC event to be held virtually through the online application as well as the Apple developer app and Apple TV Plus software on the Apple TV. This keynote has brought new changes and has now brought iOS 14, iPad OS 14, watchOS 7, and macOS 11.0 named Big Sur, as well as their new transitions between processors. Let's first take a look at iOS 14. We're going to go into the preview of that right now. So iOS 14 features obviously new wallpapers and as well as new features. So let's take a look at those right now. So the home screen has now been changed to add in widgets to them. So let's take a look at that. So here's widgets on the home screen, and you can see you can readjust the size of the widgets. You can pretty much have stackable widgets that are automatically adjusting to the time of day and to update on relevant content that you may like. Those are the Smart Stack, as they call them, which does the automatic intelligence, which you can see here for the news icon. It's going to show you the news at a certain time of day and then activity at night or another application. Depends on how often you use certain applications. These Smart Stack widgets will automatically update. And now you have the new ability of a app library. So the new app library automatically organizes all of your apps into one simple, easy to navigate view. Apps are stored by category, and your most used apps are always just one tap away. So take a look at that. So here it is. It's little folders essentially that has automatically named on every category of app on your phone in this little area. And recently added apps are at the top right hand corner. So let's take a look how you get to there. So you swipe over, you go all the way to your last page. You can swipe over to the right and get to your app library, and you can do contextual searches in there and whatnot. And within app library, you can hold down on a application and actually put it in the jiggle mode and be able to hide the next available window of applications, pages of applications. So you can just go right from the main page of all the Apple icons to your next page of apps and then swipe over to the right one more, and you can get to the app library instead of going through each separate page of applications. So that's a very handy feature right there. Now the phone call application has now been revamped, so when you get of course, a phone call, FaceTime, or any other call from any third-party app, it will now go into a nice little box at top. And this feature is brought over to iPad OS as well. Picture-in-picture mode now comes from iPad over to the iPhone. They did not specify if it's only on the bigger iPhones or on the smaller ones as well, but I believe it's on iPhones that can run iOS 14 will get it. Probably not the iPhone SE, of course, the 4-inch model, but every other iPhone should be able to get this feature as well, so that's very nice. Messages have been revamped massively, so now you have pinned conversations, so you can pin your most important person at the top, and you can even get a notification, as you can see here on the screen, of when they send you a message or a little emoji or whatnot. And group photos, you can now add group photos to your group chats and even put a picture in the middle to identify what your chat is about, essentially. And around that center image, whoever sends a message last, their emoji icon or their picture will animate bigger depending on who sent it recently. And here's the pinned conversations. So here's mentions. So mentions, you can it's not at a person, but you just type their name in and it would show in their name blue. So here it says, Candace, can you lead the presentation? And then she replies, can't wait to go show our work, and then someone types another person named Dave that can mention to that person. So it's literally you type their name in and it highlights their name into a bold, either blue or white text to notify that individual person that that message was for them specifically within a group chat. To the right of that, we have inline replies, which works as a way of directly contacting or sending a message essentially to that person in a group chat. Very handy, and even shows an animated rope that goes from that person to you. So you know that that message, if they reply to it, it's meant for you. So it's a nice little animation that they added on to that as well. And of course, Apple did update Memoji. So now you have different age ranges, more hairstyles, facial mask, of course, and whatnot. So now, like they said here, you have 20 new hairstyles, headwear styles, hobbies, professionals, personality, and whatnot. Maps have got a revamp as well, and everything is focused on privacy, of course. So now you have cycling directions. So when you're on a bike, you can pick like if you're biking through the city or whatnot, you can pick the fastest route on your bike. It tells you the elevation at the bottom, and it tells you if you can take the stairs or get off your bike and walk it to get there faster or whatnot. And you even have electric vehicle routing. So depending on your model car, right now Apple is only supporting BMW and Ford right now. So eventually Tesla, Volkswagen, Mercedes, other car companies that have electric vehicles, of course, will be added later on in the year, they said, or even next year. So that is coming. So this is pretty cool, and it just routes you to your charging station for that specific vehicle. That was one thing that was important. It will route it to a charger that will work for your specific vehicle. Very handy. Apple Map now has guides. So Apple Map editors have worked with trusted brands and partners to offer guides for great places around the world to eat, shop, and explore. You can save guides, and they'll automatically update when new places are added, so you can always have the latest recommendations. So essentially, whatever you find, you can save the guide in like a certain city or whatnot that you're visiting, and you can literally be your own tour guide. That's essentially what it is. Realistically, that's being your own tour guide. So translation. So now Siri has the ability to do on-device translations. So now you can do conversations across languages. Should feel more natural and easy, as they say, and should have the ability to remain private. Introducing the all-new translation app designed for conversations across 11 different languages. So this new app has a conversation mode. So with Translate, conversations are easy by design. Just turn your phone to landscape and tap the single microphone button to say something. So here you can see that someone in blue text in English is saying something to be translated into Spanish, and then vice versa. Whatever's in Spanish or Japanese, Chinese, Mandarin, German, Russian will be highlighted in their text in blue to indicate that they are saying something to us, and then it will translate, and vice versa. The color will change to make it easier for the users to know who's saying what. And of course, it's on device mode, so it's enable a full offline experience for translations. For Translate, use all the app features for downloaded languages and keep your translations private without needing to turn off your phone's internet connection. So essentially, here's the languages that they support, which is Arabic, Chinese, English, French, German, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Portuguese, Russian, and Spanish. And you can have automatic detection on. So essentially, it'll hear that person speak, and it will guess the language as close as it can get to being accurate. So we don't know if that's going to be 100% accurate, maybe not, but it's really nice that Apple has thought of the idea of using this feature without the internet capability and whatnot, because that is a huge thing for people that don't want to have to use the internet for something like that. And as well, you do have favorites, so you can save translations in the favorites tab for easy access later. You can also view your recent history and save phrases you just translated. So essentially, if you're going to be in that country or that region for a longer extended time, instead of always translating the same thing over and over again, you can just have snippets of the most common translations that you know are probably going to be important for you to use to communicate with other people in that area. So that's very cool, in my opinion. And you have attention mode, so it will enlarge the translated text in the landscape view and make it easier for that person to read. So essentially, it would just do a blue background with white text. Hit the play button. It speaks it in their language, and they can obviously know you want them to read it, hear it, get their attention. Siri. So Siri has been designed in a much beautiful way, just like with the phone notification shade. It has been redesigned beautifully. They did improve it. We still have to see if Siri's getting smarter, but they did say it did get smarter, so we'll take a look at that and what they say here. So the compact design, so now Siri is the little circle, and when you announce the command, she will have a little tray at the top here, a little platter card that would just tell you the information you need to know within certain apps and whatnot. So you can actually continue doing what you're doing and still ask her for help, send a text, and anything else you want to ask her, and she'll just have this little notification card that comes up and does it without blocking your entire view, which is wonderful. Siri also has greater knowledge. So they say Siri has over 20 times more facts than just 3 years ago because they added more websites to their answers, to their inquiries and answers that Siri can fulfill for you. Web answers, so like I just said, it's going to use more information across different websites to accurately get the information that you want. And you can probably, obviously, still go in there, hit search web, and obviously pull the information you want. And Siri can now send audio messages to a person within messages. And the Home app now has been updated and revamped in a much beautiful way. And it's more secure than ever before, and there's a new standard that will allow Google and other platforms to use HomeKit, so their Nest cameras and things like that will be able to be brought over into the Home network. So Apple took the Home API and made it open platform, open source. So essentially any company can use it, but they strongly stance on security being the core at their open source software. So we'll see how that evolves within this coming months and obviously the coming years for this technology to evolve. So within the Home app, you now have automated smart automations. So they're suggested to you. So you set up a fan, a light, a camera. It will automatically tell you, hey, you want to use this automation for this device. You can turn it on and off and make it easier for you to set up. So that's very good with the suggested automations. To the right of that, we have the home status. So at the top, it will tell you if the front door is unlocked, a garage door is open, lights are on, thermostat is up, or what's going on. So it just tells you the most important things that will be critical to you knowing what's up in your house. Adaptive lighting is a new feature that will automatically change your color temperature of your smart lights, like your Philips Hue lights or whatnot, that will work with HomeKit. We'll change it to a lighter temperature in the morning, a more calmer temperature in the afternoon to focus, and a more amber color without the blue light for nighttime and whatnot. So that's automated right there. So this is how it'll work. And then you have towards the center active zone, so you can draw out where do you want to get a notification for. So if you don't want to get a notification from your camera about someone in the road or whatnot, and you want it in the perimeter of your yard, you can obviously customize that with a little drawing. You just plot the dots on the screen and that's it. And then towards the right of that, you now have facial recognition for video cameras and doorbells. they can now identify people you tagged in the photo app. So in the photos, you have to go in there and set it up to say, this is mom, this is dad, this is sister, this is brother, this is Uncle John, Uncle Bill, that sort of thing, aunt, great grandmas and grandfathers, and so on and so forth. So when they come up to your door, it will show you a notification on your phone. HomePod will even let you know that, hey, this is Jill, this is Bill, he's at your door, this is Sandy, it would tell you their name of the person that's at your door. And you can see it on the Apple TV in a little widget as well. So it's very nice that they added that feature. Safari has been improved with, of course, more privacy stance, but also translation is built into the web browser. And right now it says that's in beta, but of course the whole operating system's in beta. But that specific feature for Safari may come out with iOS 14.0 or 14.1. Hopefully it comes out day one, but it might not, maybe. Performance, they say it's the world's fastest mobile web browser. So they upgraded the Java engine in it to deliver up to 2 times faster JavaScript performance than Chrome on Google. So Apple is right now in the stance of saying Safari is now faster than Chrome, using less memory, using less battery power on your mobile devices and on the Mac. So they really took a jab at Google Chrome today. But that's up to your interpretations of whatnot. Password monitoring is now built into Safari by default, so it warns you if a password's not secure. And I bet you this has to do with something with their new iCloud keychain revamp that they rumored about. That was in a rumor. So password monitoring, so it says Safari securely monitors your saved passwords to ensure that they have not been compromised in a data breach. To do this, Safari uses strong cryptographic techniques to regularly check derivations of your passwords against a list of breached passwords in a secure and private way that doesn't reveal your password information, even to Apple. So it's just really on-device check-in, and it's probably going to look at a known list of data breach passwords on device and check it against what you have and compare everything, and then let you know what you might want to change or whatnot. Towards the right of that, you have privacy reporting, which is a nice little shield icon in Safari. You can tap on that, and it'll tell you known trackers that prevent it, known content like cookies and whatnot, and it'll let you know the name of it and name of them and whatnot. So it's pretty nice for those that are power users, I would say, that really want to get into it, or people that are learning about technology and they want to have an easy way of learning online privacy. In that respect, they can obviously do that in Safari, which is much easier. Car keys and CarPlay. So CarKey is now available in iOS 13.6 when that gets released, and iOS 14. The first car to support it is the BMW 5 Series, the 2021 5 Series. More cars will support it in the future because they are working with the Car Connected Consortium for the CarKey API. The stance they made on CarKey today that it's going to use the U1 chip in the iPhone 11 for spatial awareness, so you can have the phone in your pocket, in your backpack or whatnot, and not have to take it out. And it's going to use NFC. Now, they did not say anything about Bluetooth or whatnot for older iPhones that do not have the U1 chip, so we do not know right now how that will work, but we'll take a look at the feature right now. So CarKey in Wallet. So here you can see in the Wallet app, it's a little card. It shows the BMW 540i right with your credit cards, and you just literally walk up to the car and start it. And just like that. And it says this feature will work on the Apple Watch too. So the Apple Watch, even though it doesn't have a U1 chip, it will automatically do this feature. So that's nice to know that the Apple Watch is getting this as well. So you can share and manage keys. So you can essentially send it to friends or family right through iMessage. You can revoke the key. You can share a temporary key. You can restrict driving, which only allows the users to unlock, lock, and start and drive the car. Or you can unlock and drive, which allows the users to unlock, lock, start, and drive the car without restrictions. So depends on your car's default settings or whatnot. The restricted driving will disable some features, depending on the manufacturer, of course. And then you can just do fully drive and go and whatnot with the other feature. And you can revoke the key and messages and whatnot. And if your iPhone gets stolen, you can wipe the key out through iCloud. And obviously, when you activation lock, the key is gone off that device, just like the credit cards. Power reserve. So this is something they did not talk about in the keynote, but it says it works up to 5 hours even after your iPhone battery runs out. So your iPhone can be totally dead. So as long as you know you're not going to be somewhere for 5 hours after your phone has died, which, not going to lie, that's going to be hard to keep track of. But at least you do have a little bit of a window to get to your car and start it up. But you probably have an Apple Watch, so that will be the same case. So at the bottom, CarPlay has been updated for wallpapers. So now you have different wallpapers for different type of cars, as well as new app types for parking, electric vehicle charging in the maps, and quick food ordering that's built into the map application as well. AirPods. So now the AirPods software has been vastly improved. For the AirPods Pro gets a special feature, and the regular AirPods just get the new software features in general. So AirPods deliver a magical listening experience. With iOS 14, that magic has a few new tricks, whether you're listening to music, catching up on a podcast, or taking in a movie. So spatial audio is now brought to AirPods Pro only. So they revamped the software side of AirPods Pro. So it says, with AirPods Pro, you can enjoy a theater-like experience wherever you are. Spatial audio with dynamic head tracking puts surround sound channels in exactly the right place, even as you turn your head or move your device. So it's essentially using the accelerometer, gyroscopes in both your iPad, iPhone, and AirPods Pro to obviously give you the correct spatial audio sound wherever you move your head, so it doesn't sound like it's off center or whatnot from the actor. To the right of that, you have battery notifications. So it says new battery notifications conveniently let you know when you need to charge your AirPods. So it comes down as a little notification window, and it lets you know, which that is the best thing Apple has done as far as knowing your battery life on your AirPods and just let you know when it needs to be charged. Automatic switching is something big, so now you can move between Apple TV, HomePod, Apple Watch, iPad, and iPhone, and if you're getting a phone call on your iPhone and you're on your iPad or Apple TV or whatnot, it will automatically switch back over to the phone, and then when you're done with the phone call and you're watching a movie on your iPad, it'll switch back over to your iPad automatically. So here's headphone accommodation. So it says adjust your AirPods audio to account for hearing differences. Headphone accommodations amplifies soft sounds and can tune for your individual hearing to help music, phone calls, and more sound crisp and clear. So now it has a dedicated settings for that feature. And then you have audio sharing for Apple TV. So you can connect 2 sets of AirPods to your Apple TV 4K so you can enjoy movies and shows with someone else without disturbing others. So a new little action window can come up in the movie, and you can literally just add another person or whatnot. So it's late at night and you and your wife are watching a movie, you don't want to disturb the kids or whatnot. You can do that, or if the kids are watching a movie, they don't want to disturb you, they can be polite and put on the AirPods. Now we have App Clips. So App Clips is only 10 megabytes large, and it cannot be larger than that to work. So it says apps from the App Store have changed the way we do just about everything. That's true. So now it says now there's an even faster way to take advantage of them with app clips. Take a small part of an app. An app clip is discoverable the moment you need it and focuses on a specific task. So you can literally go up to any item with NFC or whatnot, any restaurant, and literally get that. So let me show you guys the film.
Today, no matter what you want to do, there's an app for that. But what if you don't have the app you need right when you need it? Like when you need to pay for parking. Well, now there's an app clip for that. Ooh, look, a new coffee shop. There's an app clip for that. Or your friend sends you a message with a print you like. There's an app clip for that. That looks nice. Looking for somewhere to eat nearby? App clip. Very health conscious of you. Hey, there's a scooter. Let's take it for a spin. Yup, app clip. Ice cream. Wait, there isn't one for that yet? Well, soon there could be an app clip for that. And that. And that. And that. And that.
So it's essentially little snippets for you. So that's how it would show up as a little notification. And that's it. You can use it without even downloading the app on the device. You can always install it if you want. And for apps that require you to pay for something, it will use Apple Pay. And you can even sign in with the Apple sign-in, so you can take advantage of that without using your password in your personal account. So it says small size, so that's the 10 megabyte size for it. Easy and private, so of course with signing in with Apple and Apple Pay, you take advantage of that as well. Now we're going to take a look at privacy. So iOS 14 does more on privacy. Towards the left, we have privacy information on the App Store. So every developer will now have to put a little description on what data they use to track you and what data is linked to you and who they're sending it to and how much and what's exactly they're doing. Towards the right of that, we have recording indicators. So now a little yellow light will appear in your notifications on the iPhone or iPad and will let you know when an app is using your microphone or camera. And in the control center, you can see if an app has used them recently. You now have the ability to upgrade to sign in with Apple. So you can easily switch to sign in with Apple with login in to participate in apps. You keep the account you already used, but have one less password to keep track of. So basically, it's just going to save it into the iCloud keychain and use Face ID to authenticate it. So it's essentially taken over things like LastPass and things of that nature that are password managers in a unique Apple way. And on the right, we have approximate location. So now you can tell an application to get your general location in a region instead of pinpointing it to your exact house address or where you're at on a street or whatnot for a certain application. And of course, there's much more. So app stores, updates, our Apple Arcade has been a little bit of updates here and there. ARKit 4 introduces new features, and it only works on the A12 Bionic chip and later. Camera, of course, has been updated. And here are the other list of applications that have been updated. Oh, so now you can set default email and browser apps with iOS 14. You can set a third-party app as the default email or browser app system-wide. So that's very fantastic that Apple's now letting users select what they want to use instead of their own applications. Beautiful. And here are some other applications. So here are the devices that are compatible with iOS 14. It starts on everything from the iPhone SE first generation all the way up to the current generation iPhone 11 Pro Max. And of course iPod Touch 7th generation. And you can join the developer program for next month for the public beta. And let's take a look at iPad OS. iPad OS takes some features from iOS 14 because it's the same operating system, literally the same, of course. So here are the features. New canvas, redesigned widgets have now moved over. App design, so now you have more room and space within applications to take advantage of that big, beautiful display on the iPad Pros. Search has been revamped. It's now a little widget window. You can do everything through search. You can tell it to open applications. You can do web searching, message searching, whatnot right through there. Compact calls, of course, that carried over from the iPhone. That's now an iPad. Scribble, so now you can do Scribble with the Apple Pencil. You can write from handwriting to text to do automatic conversions. And you can write in any field on the iPad and it will convert it to text. And you can cut, copy, and paste text into paste handwriting into text as well. You can scratch to delete, you can circle to select. And here's notes with handwriting. So here's smart selection, so you can highlight your handwritten words and bring it over and paste it as handwritten text. As text into pages, keynotes, numbers, and whatnot. Even Microsoft Office programs. Shape recognition, so you can draw different shapes and it'll change it into the static image. Data detectors, so it can detect dates, names, and phone numbers, email address, and automatically convert that into the appropriate identifiers. So augmented reality is now being improved, of course, with the LiDAR sensor on the LiDAR scanner on the new iPad Pros with ARKit 4. So here are the new experiences with the LiDAR camera. Geographic location specific, so you can take advantage of that. So there we go with that. Messages gets the same exact revamp as the iPhone. Same thing with the emoji stickers. Maps gets the same way as well. Home is the same, and so on and so forth. So let's take a look at watchOS or macOS, depending on which one they throw at the bottom here. And of course, you can set system defaults in the iPad OS, same thing with iOS. iPad OS is compatible on the iPad Air 2 and up, and iPad Mini 4 and 5 only, and of course, all the iPad Pro models. So let's take a look at macOS 11.0, Big Sur. They didn't really say 11.0, but they did say it's the biggest thing since macOS 10.0. So now it's time for macOS 11 to take it. It's time now. So here's the new revamped macOS 11. So it says doing it all in a all new way. So it says macOS Big Sur elevates the most advanced desktop operating system in the world to a new level of power and beauty. Experience Mac to the fullest with a redefined new design. Enjoy the biggest Safari update ever, and same thing with the maps and all that. So it's a lot of stuff carried over from iPad OS and iOS. So here's the bold new experience. So we'll take a look at that video for you guys.
At Apple, design has always been about great ideas. Those ideas then are developed with this obsessive dedication to detail. If we care enough about all the details that make up a product, then in the end, we will design an experience that really feels like there's no other way it could be. And the best example of this is macOS Big Sur. Our goal was to bring even more clarity to the design of the software, while retaining the Mac's powerful capability and ease of use. We started with the simplest of elements, from the shape of a corner radius to refinements in buttons and controls. And we brought our unified language of symbols to the Mac, making them more consistent and easier to recognize. Depth, shading, and translucency are used to create hierarchy. These new materials are rich and they're vibrant. They bridge light and dark. We've reduced visual complexity to keep the focus on users' content. Buttons and controls appear when you need them, and they recede when you don't. There's a new way to access system-level controls and a unified space for notifications and widgets. We've also created a new suite of sounds that are familiar to the Mac, but remastered and more refined. We wanted consistency throughout the ecosystem, so users can move fluidly between their Apple devices. But we also love that Mac icons have a deep history and a distinct look and feel. So we retain many of the highly crafted details and the playful elements that make Mac icons unique. This OS reflects an important history. It's familiar, but it's also entirely new in every detail. We love the Mac. It's the tool we use to make all the products that we put out into the world. And macOS Big Sur is where it starts.
So you guys can see in the video there are new sounds that are updated to the iconic classic Mac sounds within the operating system, as well as the new iOS design language. So here's streamlined apps. Things are more redefined, refreshing dock, new elements, new application designs, of course. Take a look at that. That's much more beautiful than it is now. Here's the new menu at the top here. Control Center is now brought over to the Mac, so you can control everything right through Control Center at the top instead of going to System Preferences, and that is still in the operating system, of course. Notification Center is now revamped. You just got to click on the time, and that's basically it. Grouped notifications and whatnot from the iPhone is carried over. Just like that. And widgets as well. Safari, of course, has the same features as the iPhone. And there are some unique features for macOS. So now you have customizable start page. You can add your own background pictures or curated ones that Apple provides. Same thing like in Google Chrome, basically. You have Safari extensions in the App Store, so now you have a new dedicated category in the App Store to make it easier to discover extensions from your favorite developers. New support for Web Extension API and migration tools to allow developers to bring extensions from other browsers to Safari. And unlike other browsers, Safari asks you which website each extension can access, keeping your browsing habits even more private. So you can tell the website extension what do you want it to know, what don't you want it to know. You have the new improved tab, so you can now have a more elegant new look, means more tabs are visible at once. You can hover over a tab to bring up an instant page preview, and when you have several tabs open, Safari makes it easier to find the one you're looking for with a new space-efficient design. So you can just literally hover over a tab and see what the website looks like. Translations is brought over as well in beta form, as well as password monitoring. Privacy report, same thing built over. Improved performance, so now they're saying we made the fastest desktop on the planet even faster. Of course, that's Apple. 50% faster on average at loading frequently visit web pages than Chrome. So there's probably some testing numbers people have to do independently to verify that from Apple. Improved power efficiency, so Safari lets you do more with a single charge, so now you have up to 3 hours more of streaming video compared to Chrome and Firefox, and up to an hour more of browsing compared to Chrome and Firefox. Messages on the Mac is dramatically improved. It's everything in iOS 14 that is desperately needed on the Mac to keep in line with today. So it has everything on there. So here's all the same features. Perfect. And of course, some emojis. Effects to messages in macOS is finally here. Finally. Search is now vastly improved in messages. Maps has carried over the same new design, new features. So you have the same new features. Of course, with look around and indoor maps, you can now see things in 3-dimensional and inside of a building, depending on if that area supports it. So here's privacy. So now you have more. Okay, so that's the App Store privacy again. There's even more features. So here's everything with macOS Big Sur. Faster update. So it says once macOS Big Sur is installed, software updates begin in the background and finish faster than before. So it's easier than ever to keep your Mac up to date and secure. And macOS Big Sur will run on MacBook 2015 and later, MacBook Air 2013 and later, MacBook Pro late 2013 and later, Mac Mini 2014 and later, iMac 2014 and later, iMac Pro 2017 and later, all models, and Mac Pro 2013 and later. Let's take a look at watchOS 7. So watchOS 7 now brings sleep tracking to the Apple Watch. Let's take a look at that. So here's sleep tracking. Here are the new customizable watch faces. So now you can make your own new watch face and share it with friends and family through iMessage. And even have you can have more complications for different apps on your watch face. Of course, the face sharing. You can find faces in the App Store, new watch faces, and on different websites online. And you can add it to your Apple Watch, and it will let you know if it needs to have a specific app. So you can download that app or continue without that app. The Sleep app is now finally here. So sleep mode will automatically dim your phone and do a nice wind down type of look, less stressful and whatnot. The Apple Watch will go into sleep mode, and the light would be dim on the watch. And of course, when you're sleeping, that screen will be off. It won't turn on or whatnot. And at bedtime, of course, your watch will do its job. And you now get sleep charts, so you can see how many hours of sleep you're getting per week. Sleep tracking, so now it will notice movements associated with your breathing and differentiate between sleep and wake states. And it shows you in a color-coded bar. And you get alerts to go to bed on time and a more gentler wake-up alarm on your watch. Of course, with wind down, it can tell you how to wind your body down to get into sleep. And wake up in the morning tells you the time and temperature, and you can have a nice small alarm, and it lets you know to charge your battery in the morning. So if it says if your battery is below 30% in your bedtime, you can get a reminder to charge. If you charge after waking up, you'll get an iPhone notification when you're at 100%. So it lets you know. So you have to have more than 30% battery before going to bed, and it'll let you know in the morning to top off your watch before you get going. And it's all integrated into the sleep app. To the health app, the sleep data. The activity app is now renamed to fitness because it does more than the activity. So now you can do the dance is now part of the workouts, as well as core training and functional strength and cool down. So here it tells you more data. You can share it, of course. You can do your competitions and whatnot. Cycling is brought over to the watch, and more of the same information. Hand washing with the times that are going on now, of course, this is important. So it lets you know automatic detection, so it uses its motion sensors and microphone, and Apple Watch can detect when the hand washing and starts a 20-second timer, so it can detect the sound of a faucet, water running, and motions of your hands with soap. And it lets you know to wash your hands for 20 seconds. And if you stop, it will kindly let you know to continue washing your hand. And the Apple Watch can remind you to wash your hands when you get home. So that is a very nice feature to have nowadays. Siri update has been improved. And of course, translation. So everything brought over from iOS is brought over. On-device dictation. So that's across iPad OS and iOS is on-device dictation instead of through a server. And Siri shortcuts are now improved on the watch and brought over. So Hearing Health was introduced with the watchOS 6. So here's, they're just talking about, okay, they're talking about the Hearing Health and the summaries and whatnot. watchOS 7 is compatible with the Apple Watch Series 3, 4, and 5. Not all features available on all devices. And you need to have an iPhone 6s or later with iOS 14 and one of the newer Apple Watches to install it on. So those who have a Series 1 and 2, you guys have to upgrade to a Series 3, 4, or 5, or to a Series 6 that's going to come out in September. So this is all of the big operating system updates today. Let's just see if Apple mentions their transitions over to a new processor. Okay, so Apple doesn't mention their processor transition. So Apple is moving from Intel to their ARM-based chips, and those ARM-based chips are now obviously built in-house and whatnot, much faster, much revamped. They have a translation developer kit, as well as Universal Binary 2, Rosetta Stone 2, and much more improvements on that end of translating your app over. And they did state that Intel-based Macs will get macOS for the foreseeable future. So it's not like when PowerPC came out. I mean, when PowerPC was phased away for Intel, they really cut off PowerPC that quick with software updates within a year. They are going to keep Intel software updates for quite a while. And that makes sense since the Mac Pro is based on Intel-based chips that just released not that long ago. So that makes sense. And the first ARM-based computer is going to be coming Q4 of this year. So at the end of the year, we'll see our first ARM-based Mac. And that's everything that was announced today, and that's all we have time to cover right now. As always, guys, like the video if you like it, dislike it. If you dislike it, leave a comment of what you thought about today's WWDC and what you're most excited for, and stay tuned for more videos.